You've got the touch. You've got the power, yeah. Through the eyes of the storm, you've got the touch. You've got the motion, yeah. No one to know, and it's never enough. You've got the touch. You've got the power, yeah. Through the eyes of the storm, no one you know, no one you know when it's never enough. You got the touch, you got the power, yeah. Through the eyes of the storm, when you dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. Everything's all right now. Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. How you gonna feel now? Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. Everyone's okay now. Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. Everything's cool now. Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. Going on while the galaxy rain. Here we go. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. We're the Galaxy Rangers, here we go. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. We're the Galaxy Rangers, here we go. On some fantastic dream, Yogi Bear. Uh, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Have a yabba dabba do time. From the town of Bedrock, there's a place right out of history that we. Hey, Action Toys. Hey, Action Toys. How was your weekend, man? How are you doing these days? I haven't seen you in a few days. And as always, of course, if you can like and share the video, that'd be appreciated, so we can get the algorithms up. We can get some more people in here. How you doing, there, ATC? That's good. Just hit the 130 sub mark. Oh, congratulations, my friend. Sounds cool. You still obviously have more than I do. I just barely got over 100 recently. It's been fluctuating the low hundreds there. Oh, look, we have a third person in here. Hello, third person. How are you doing tonight? Bat goat, bat goat, da 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 da. Bat goat, what up, y'all? Bat goat, da 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 da. Bat goat, da 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 da. Bat goat, da 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 da. Bat goat, da 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 da. I have 32 subs because I'm rad. Yeah, well, you're rad, all right. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, so good to see you guys. Hope your weekend went well. How was your weekend, Batgoat? Excuse me a moment while I go off screen here for a sec. Hey, back go. Hey, twin. Action! Toys! Channel! Action! Toys! Channel! I have Mike and Bat Goat a shout out in my newest vid. I'll have to check it out. Hmm, have to check it out probably after the stream. We have 4 people now. Went out and saw my grandson. Awesome. He's actually the raddest. Yep. Grandkids are like that, huh? Really rad. I'll check that out. Yeah. So then we have 4 people now. I might get into the article here pretty quick here soon. Then, um, let's see. 6:41. Yeah. Before I get into the articles, it's kind of funny. Last night, before I went to bed, got into decided to look up some scenes from the Transformers, the movie from back in the 80s. I think it came out in 86, I believe. Had a pretty cool soundtrack with like the Touch and Dare from Stan Bush, Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al Yankovic. Just some cool scenes in there. Looking over some of the more pretty well known scenes, like one in which you had the fight between Optimus and Megatron, in which ended up with Prime dying. But I remember how that fight started with with some of the classic lines delivered by, of course, Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. Uh, Peter Cullen, as Optimus there, saying, "One shall stand, one shall fall," and then, of course, Megatron coming back, with from Frank Welker, why, asking Prime, why are you ready to throw your life away? I guess I'm paraphrasing a little bit there, and then Prime goes, "You should be asking yourself that question." You have the Touch from Stan Bush, roaring in the background there. And then you have it towards the end of the movie between the fight between um, Rodimus and Galvatron, you know, as Rodimus is getting the. I'm going to cook a little, so I may not be lively on chat. I understand that. Um, wow. Okay, one person just left. Okay, anyways, um, yeah. So here's basically what's on tap tonight. There's like 3 stories I'm gonna go through tonight. Um, some Crunchyroll news. A little tip between a Marvel editor and a DC editor, and then and also some news regarding the Netflix She-Ra series. So we're already at like a 9.5 minute mark there. So hmm. So we'll probably just get right into it then. I have some people in here with me. Let's see now. And there's the story right there as we're getting ready to Get into it. There you go, gentlemen. Crunchyroll's upcoming original X Arm faces widespread ridicule over debut trailer's poor quality. So, Crunchyroll's upcoming original X Arm has been met with near universal backlash after its debut trailer made apparent the series' low production quality. And I guess here's the picture of some of the, I guess, video work or artwork there. Revealed on November 6th, so a week ago this past Friday, X Arm, based on the manga series by writer High Rock and artist Shinya Komi, um, takes place in the year 2014 and follows a high school student who hates machines. Akira Natsumi um, wants to change himself for the better and tries to take the first step in doing that, but then he gets run over by a truck. Sounds kind of it sounds similar to the opening to Yu Yu Hakusho there. Yeah, let's start. I don't know if they just thought that was a great way to start off a series. Yeah, let's have the main character get run over by some form of vehicle or something like that. That sounds like a cool idea. Um, Fast forward to 2030, a police officer named Minami Uezono and her partner, the android Alma, infiltrate the scene of a trade going on at Tokyo Harbor for an unknown weapon named X Arm. They are then attacked by an enemy armed with the X Arm number 08. Put in this life or death situation, they decide to activate the X Arm number 00 that they stole from the enemy. And yes, there's the link to the official trailer right there. As evident from the trailer, X Arm will be animated using computer graphics and 3D models, with many comparisons being drawn between it and Rooster Teeth's Ruby. Unfortunately for Crunchyroll, the trailer also showed that X Arm seems to be suffering from the same quality issues seen in many CG-based series, computer graphic, including stiff, poorly executed animation and open, sparsely detailed settings that make the world feel incomplete and unnatural. Nothing new to report still. I guess he was going to. Anyways. Anyways. Okay, so give me a sec. I gotta go off camera. All right, as we continue here, um, based on this lack of quality for one brief moment, the internet was brought together with X Arm quickly becoming the target of widespread lampooning and mockery, as audiences found themselves baffled by the substandard production scene in the series' first worldwide reveal. Both CBR and Anime News Network, two sites routinely known for their contrarian takes on many issues within the anime community. Contrarian's the least of it. Anyways, both published articles dissecting the abysmal trailer. X Arm's awful trailer proves why anime should be made by animators, declared CBER, um, while Anime News Network asked, why does the Crunchyroll original series X Arm look so awful? Ouch. That's some biting commentary right there. Bite, bite, bite. Ha, 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 ha. Uh, let's see now. Oh, we got hello, fourth person. Welcome to the stream here. Oh, yeah. So going over this article about Crunchyroll and I guess a trailer that been getting a little bit lampooned here. Um, as discussed by both outlets, X Arm's poor visuals and direction are the result of series director Yoshikatsu Kimura, who told Anime News Network in September in a September interview that despite having never directed an anime production before, yeah, okay, he was chosen for the project because the anime is done in 3D, and live action directors normally deal with a three-dimensional space. Because I was a fit for this kind of production and my expertise with action sequences, I was asked to be director, said Kimura. Oh, that's an interesting pick right there. Nice looking young lady there. Gee, you have any? Oh, oh, this person left again. Oh, well. Okay. The series is written by Tommy Morton, features music by So Kimura, and is animated by Studio Visual Flight. But as ANN concluded through a cross-referencing of their own encyclopedia, none of them have ever worked in anime before. Oh yeah, I guess trying to put a big project together like this, and then you throw out, you throw some guys who've never done anything before in the industry. That's really kind of wonky. But Visual Flight is perhaps the oddest name of the bunch, noted ANN in their analysis of the trailer. The only anime-esque project they've been a part of is creating a bizarre dance demo in Unity, and their professional credit only seemed to include modeling work for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. In fact, in a panel for the series held during Crunchyroll's previous Crunchyroll Virtual Expo, Kimura explained that rather than doing special preparations for an anime, I involved my usual live action stuff. Yeah, putting having people who've never done anime before, yeah, that can be a bit tricky. Social media would not prove to be any more kind to the fledgling production. On Twitter, Rev Says Detsu described X Arm as a fan made project from 2005 and stated that it made the notoriously awful CG work seen in Berserk 2016 look like a GD masterpiece. Uh, Anime like Musashi Gundam, Charge Man Can, and Berserk 2016 at least have things like low production budgets, mismanagement, and other such compounding factors to blame for their poor quality, wrote um, Charmander K. Charm is bad because the people behind it don't know what the bleep they're doing. Uh, Trying to find just the right voice to use for when we're quoting these people. Great, we're back up to 4 people. Yay! Uh, at XNA exclaimed that the the XR PV looks horrendous. Even for cheap CG anime standards, it looks hysterically bad. Like one guy animated it in his spare time, and they put this out like, look at our new CR original. On YouTube, viewers took to posting their mockery directly to comments section of the X-Arm trailer. This looks like someone's first SFM animation, wrote user Burton. Evil joked that the trailer looked like it was made by someone under the pressure of being they they only animator, but have a deadline to meet. Let's see. I'm not even subscribed to Crunchyroll, but I already want my money back. Said Sleepy sarcastically. Let's see now. YouTube content creators would similarly slam the trailer as Clownfish TV described the trailer as a PC to out cutscene and commented on how it's trying to be Ruby, except Ruby, at least the earlier seasons, were pretty good. Hero Hay would sarcastically cover the backlash from the perspective of someone interested in the series and preface his viewing of the trailer by sarcastically asking, "It can't be that bad, right?" and asserting that people must be blowing this out of proportion or something. I think I did hear him say something like that. Oh man, being an anime fan is suffering. Hay would conclude after breaking character in the final seconds of the video. As of writing, the X-Arm official trailer on YouTube has 1,600 upvotes and 17,000 downvotes. Man, what do you make of X-Arm's debut trailer? Are you excited to watch the series in any capacity? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Anybody got anything interesting to say about that? Or shall I move on to the next article? Just a sec here, right? Anyways, okay. Let me go off screen one more time here. All right, I'm back now, and still no new comments. Okay, I hope everybody's enjoying the. Yeah, keep going, Mike. Voices are great. Okay, yeah, yeah, keep going, Mike. I'm listening. The voices are great. Yeah, I realized though towards the end there maybe because these people aren't really. I shouldn't be mocking these people. These people haven't really done anything wrong here. But anyways, so we'll go on to the next story here. It looks like they got a scene here of Batman and Catwoman kissing. Hey Woody, what would Woody do back in '62? Driving classic cars, drinking in the bars. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Hey Woody, lovely evening. Yes, it is. Hope your weekend went well, Woody. Welcome to the stream where I just got through one article on Crunchyroll and the original that they're doing that apparently got panned by quite a few people. Now we're moving on to a comic story here. Marvel editor Tom Brevoort calls out DC writer Tom King for hypocrisy in reaction to departure of DC editor Mark Doyle. Oh, our good old friend Tom King, who went after that one writer, you know, for being on Ethan's stream, really dug into him while he was trying to bury his cat. Yeah, that clown, Mr. King. Oh, update. This article originally claimed that curiously, King's Mark Doyle related um, anecdote has since been edited out of the original piece. Okay. So they basically did a little bit of an editing here, but anyways, uh, following publication of the article, author Jacob Brogan reached out, bounding into comics to correct this assessment and clarify that you can listen to the passage in question via the audio player on the page that you link to. It begins around 59 minutes 44 seconds in that player. You can also find a transcript of the interview. Okay. This article, which has since been updated to reflect this information, continues below. Okay. So, so they gave us a little notation there on that. Let's see now. It's a new parody, Fat Man and Scatwoman. Ah, Woody's theme song is better than mine. Well, yeah. Um. Well, okay. So Batgoat, I modeled your song from, of course, the '66 Batman series. Woody's song I kind of modeled from a Christian rock group called Jars of Clay. What would Jesus do? So just to kind of let you know. Um, Evening Woody, Evening Woody, laugh out loud toys. Oh, give me a sec. Yeah, I gotta go off screen one more time. Sorry, guys. Let's see. It's cool, Mike. I was just commenting. Yep, I know. I'm not. Hey, Batgoat. Anyway, so continuing on with the article here. Now that we kind of got some of that prefacing out of the way there. Marvel executive editor and senior vice president of publishing Tom Brevoort has accused DC writer Tom King of being hypocritical in his reaction to the recent announcement that Mark Doyle would be leaving DC Comics. Since his addition to the DC Comics team in 2006, Doyle has had an impressive tenure as an editor for the publisher, having served as the group editor for the Batman line of titles since 2014 and as executive editor on projects such as DC Black Label and recent attempt at a Vertigo revamp. In spite of the massive role in shaping the current state of DC Comics, particularly with regard to the Bat family, Doyle's departure was announced November 12th. Um, let's see, falling casualty to a wider round of layoffs across the publisher's various departments. And of course, we've been covering that a little bit. We've read a number of stories about the layoffs and the like. So here's, I guess, here's a look at at quite a number of the Bat members of the Bat family right there. We have company. We need to talk, all of us. Unsurprisingly, given their time working together during their respective tenures on the Bat family titles, King reacted to the news of Doyle's departure by attributing his career to the editor and praising his work within the industry. Um, let's see. The transcendent, brilliant, visionary editor Mark Doyle is leaving DC this week, said King on Twitter, alongside a page from his Batman run edited by Doyle. I would I would not have a career without Mark. He gave me my first gig, my first ongoing, made me take insane risks on big stages in every genre. He tirelessly pushed comics to be better. A true legend. I guess here's some of the artwork there. King's tweet um, would then prompt a response from Brevoort, who asked the infamous Batman writer, "Didn't didn't you force him off the Batman titles and crow about it in an interview? It's a bit odious to cry over the bodies when you had a hand in killing them. Brevoort added. Let's see. The interview referenced by Brevoort refers to a 2017 interview from Tom King by writer Jacob Brogan for Slate, which I guess they were referring to in the preface there, in which King recalled how a fight between the two other artists for or between the two over artists for the infamous proposal scene in Batman number 24 led to a switch in editors. Thankfully, the story was quoted in full at the time by Bleeding Cool and thus can be read in full as it originally appeared. Let's see. Before I read that, let's see if anybody's got anything to say about that. You are in good form tonight, Mike. Well, thank you, Woody. That's a nice thing to say. We got 5 people in here tonight. Yay, 5 people. And again, as I will remind everybody, I always appreciate the likes and shares to where we can see if we can get some more people in here. So you guys can help me out if you haven't already. Like and share. Like if you like the content, obviously, and share it if you can. That'd be appreciated. So, anyways, let's continue on here. Batman 24. There are 2 editors listed for the book. We switched editors halfway through. It's not normal. It's very weird. I got in a big fight with my editor about it, and an editor I love, Mark Doyle, he wanted to bring in an artist on it who had not worked on the book before. I knew it was this big moment, Batman proposing to Catwoman. You're going to turn on Twitter. It's going to be that stupid image. I want this to be an image with David. I want him to draw this issue. No, no, David, too busy going on vacation. Just call him. We got in a big fight over it, and in the end, we switched editors and got David, and that's how we brought Jamie Rich on the book. Now, before I continue on with the quote, a little tidbit for you guys who are into comics history. This is, of course, not the first time that Batman Catwoman would be in a situation where they would be romancing each other to the point of becoming married. The Earth 2 Bruce Wayne, the Earth 2 Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle would eventually wed, become husband and wife, and bore the Huntress, or the second person to go by the Huntress code name, Helena Wayne. Helena, on Earth 2, Helena Wayne was the daughter of Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle Wayne, aka Batman and Catwoman. So, um, so just as a bit of a interesting little trivia tidbit for you guys there. But anyways, back to the quote here. That's something I could not do earlier in my career. Say, I'm putting my foot down. That's something you can only say when you've had a lot of success. Sounds like the guy's let his success go to his head. Wonder if he stuck his head up, you know where. But anyways, that's another story for another day. Um, when you first come in, you have no power at all. You are at the whim of your editors, who are in control of whether you are whether you eat this day. Okay. Shortly after that, Mark Doyle would leave Batman and Jamie Rich take his place. Noted Bleeding Cool's Rich Johnston in his site's coverage of Doyle's departure from the Batman title. Um, it it could be that this fight may have precipitated that move. It could have made the move. It could have made the move earlier, easier, but it doesn't seem coincidental. King's first editor at DC Comics, at Vertigo, who then hired him to write Batman, has not edited a King book since. Has not edited a King. And here is, of course, Bruce proposing to Selina in modern times here. As of writing, King has yet to respond to Brevoort's criticism. What do you make of this exchange? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Well, guys, what do you think of all that going on there? Guys, have any comments on that? And excuse me one more time here, as I gotta shoot for. All right, I'm back now. Let's see what you guys have been saying since I was gone there. Oh, Mike's okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I just had to step away from the computer for a moment. Yeah, gotta clean the snot locker. Yeah, yeah. That was part of it. I actually had to step away from the computer though as well. So, Um, anyway, so what did you guys think of all that about Tom Brevoort's comments there about Tom King? You guys have anything you want to add to all that? All right, I guess with that, then I guess I'll move on to the next article. Then up here, you guys may not have much to say anymore on on that particular story, so I guess we'll move on to the next one then. See now. Third and last story of the night here that I'll be taking a look at is this one in regards to Netflix, the Netflix She-Ra series. One I'm sure that those of us who grew up on the She-Ra series have had some issues with. The She-Ra series of the eight. Excuse me one more time, guys. Sorry, gotta do one more thing here. Just sounded like Greek, Greek salad to me. Laugh out loud. Greek. Uh, okay. Just sounded Greek to me, huh? Okay, well, anyways, going on to this next story then here. She-Ra and the Princess of Power fans attack YouTuber That Star Wars Girl over simple tweet describing Netflix redesigns as infuriating. She-Ra and the Princess of Power fans have launched a campaign of harassment against YouTuber That Star Wars Girl over a tweet describing the redesigns of the series Etherean Warriors as infuriating. Look at that, right? Man, that looks like a burgeoning cat fight. Burgeoning cat fight, huh? On November 14th, that Star Wars girl posted a series of tweets comparing the Netflix redesigns of She-Ra and other members of the Great Rebellion with their original designs as seen in the original 1985 She-Ra Princess Power animated series. The one, of course, originally done by Filmation that also did He-Man and some of the Justice League cartoons of the late 60s, New Adventures of Superman and New Adventures, The Adventures of Batman, see Sabrina and the Groovy Ghoulies, among other things, a number of the Archie shows. But anyways, the Star Wars girl described the differences between the two series designs with one innocuous sentence. This is infuriating. Yeah, you could tell that they were trying to go for a they're trying to push the whole racial ethnicity thing here, with the exception of Shira, of course, in the newer designs there seems like they're trying to um push some kind of ethnicity on them by darkening their skins. And Mermista right there is the dark, seems the darkest of all. In fact, if you look at it, it almost seems like a progression of some colorization as well there. See what you guys are saying here. I heard Clownfish talking about this earlier. Geeky is not happy. They ruined the original She-Ra from the 80s. Then they call her bad names. What they did to Anna is pathetic. Yeah, I mean, I watched He-Man and She-Ra growing up. I like those series. I liked a lot of the PSAs at the end there. It was a very kid friendly show, and then now you're taking that and trying to push your agenda here. You know, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a while back I went over an article where Melody Britt, who was the voice of She-Ra in the '80s cartoon, even had some words to say for fans who were um like her point was is that people shouldn't dump on people just because they didn't like the new designs of the series. You know, so she's right. It's horrid. Yeah, well, backgoat as we always say here, get woke, go broke, right? Basically, what it comes back to. You try to push these agendas and really just and you just try to sit there and you take a product that most people grew up with and had very fond memories of, and then you try to put some kind of modern day spin on it, and you just, you just, it doesn't always work. In fact, I really think it doesn't work more than it actually works. You know, Sometimes it works, but very little does it actually work. Anyways, back to the article here. In response to this three-word tweet, She-Ra fans descended upon that Star Wars girl's account, bombarding her with insults, insinuating bigoted motives for her posting of the tweet, of course, and asserting their preference for the simplified designs of Noel Stevenson's reboot. Um, yeah, because these kids don't know anything. That's why. At Crystal Huntress accused that Star Wars girl of being unsatisfied with the redesigns. Let's see. Just because just because they added minorities. And I guess here is the full tweet. People who hate She-Ra just because they added minorities still exist. Let's see. Now, if now, TF, do you look at the old designs and think that that bleep looks good? Asked a weirder. Where they get some of these names, I have. Oh, I get what the TFs. How? Okay. How TF do you? Okay. How TF do you look at the old designs and think that bleep looks good? I think it looks very good. That was some quality art back then. That goat Woody, you guys I think, were watching She-Ra at that time, and action. What did you guys think of the older art? Did you guys think that? Did you think the filmation stuff was actually pretty good? Yeah, poor Star Wars girl was. It was sickening to watch um, the dog piling. Mike said a curse. I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I had. Well, maybe I did. I will once in a while, but if I did, I said. Um. Anyways, I'm moving on here. At Drizzy Adora attempted to shut down, as they always, as SJWs always do, that Star Wars girl's opinion by stating that because she was white, it was automatically irrelevant and wrong. God bless. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, they go trying to play up the whole, um, trying to play up the whole white privilege thing again. I guess we have a quote. Okay, at W WLW Bimbo. Okay, wonder what that means. Bryn Simp era. Okay, Bryn loves Simp era. Okay. Um, Literally bleeping cry about it, said WL Bimbo, who then insinuated that that Star Wars girl criticism was not based on the aesthetics of the reboot, but rather on how it has LGBT representation and new designs have more diversity. Yeah, let's take a classic that was good and put our own little 2 cents on it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Boobs 69 accused that Star Wars girl of being both racist, racist, and fatophobic, fatphobic, and framed her issues with the Netflix designs as the YouTuber getting angry about cartoon titties. Kai. I did that I tried to do that voice as a woman, but I don't know if Kai okay, I may be I'm not even sure. I may have misgendered Kai there. Kai may be a guy. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, don't be mad. I hated Shira like Vikings versus Packers hate because He Man was my guy. I was in high school and watched He Man every day. Tila was my girl. Yeah, Tila is pretty attractive too. I mean, I you know I love both of them, He Man and Shira. I mean, again, one of those things where you wanted to join them in their world. You know, I've had too much medicine once again. Shutting up. Okay, okay. Guess I know what that means. Laugh out loud. You guys, why don't you let other millennials make you look bad? Seriously, break their keyboards or something. It's embarrassing. Um, she started a sentence with literally this level of yeah. You know what might be good? Just throw a bunch of these millennials. Just throw a bunch of these millennials into a wrestling ring with their keyboard and let them just start bashing each other over the head with the keyboard. Instead of bashing them over the head with steel chairs, start bashing them over the head with keyboards. That might be entertaining. Bam, bam, bam. Excuse me again, guys. All right. So as we continue, oh, here we go. So according to okay, I'm reading this only because it's at Desna. Um, I'm going to change the word a bit here. At Desna at Desnas female dog mocked. Okay. Oh no. Okay, Carol J Hater era. Um. Oh no. I can't get a boner now. So infuriating. Ew, diversity. I don't know what that was all about. At Val BTQ merely insulted that Star Wars girl, ironically stating, it's just, let's see, it's just a cartoon, you sniveling female dog. Again, it should be noted that all of this negative sentiment and outrage resulted from a three-word tweet in which that Star Wars girl only stated that the change was infuriating, an opinion shared by many fans of the original series. And I know Melody, as I said before, Melody Britt, who was the voice of She-Ra in the original series, had some interesting things to say about that as well. As of writing, that Star Wars girl has continued to defend herself against the wave of outrage as it enters its second straight day, most succinctly summarizing her defense by pointing out how nothing in my tweets had anything to do with body types or sex appeal. You created that situation by projecting your own insecurities, just exposing your own misogyny, observed that Star Wars girl. People are more than just their body types, even cartoon characters. Get help. What do you make of the backlash against that Star Wars girl? Well, I know you guys you've been commenting on that throughout the whole reading of the article here. Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. So let's see what you guys. Okay, I did read it. Just the Twitter warriors, all the millennials that I know on YouTube are rock stars. Yeah, we got 6 people in here now. Yay! And look who's joined us. Anonymity. right in time to miss all the stories or catch the very end of the last of the three stories. Oh boy. Hey, hey, just got home, going to eat. Okay. My kids are pretty good little eggs too. Yeah, I know you talked a lot about your kids there, Back Goat. Okay, that one. I'm having a rage seizure now. I can't get a boner. Hey, professor, check this out. Her name is that Star Wars girl. Her name is Anna. Simply amazing. Yeah. You know what kind of got me on that particular comment? I wasn't sure if I actually thought when I first read that particular statement, I thought that that person was actually, I guess, mocking the people who are hating on Anna. There, that's what I thought, but maybe I misunderstood. Let's see what more yes. Anon, should I cut a cheese and cracker tray or toast up a good Sammy um, with sopa rosetta and prosciutto. Option two, good call. Yeah. Let's see. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. With the Galaxy Rangers, here we go. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. Twitter doesn't like Anna. She's not a blue haired land whale that echoes everything. Hmm. He's so full of hate. He directed that towards the offender, who he just assumed was a guy. Yeah, that okay. As I said, I didn't even pick it. I actually thought when he made that quote, I thought he was actually talking about people who were hating on Hannah myself. But um, yeah. So we got six people in here now, just over the hour mark. Um, how's everybody doing tonight? Got through the stories already. Yeah, I did actually. I was on Tug Stream earlier tonight. Did actually try to promote the Friday night um, streams. You know, dropped a couple little tidbits from it. You know, little trivia pieces. See if I can get him. You know, curious or excited. Said he'd go look up some of the stuff I was mentioning, but it's the same insult they do to Jeremy from the quartering. It's dummy SJW tactics. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's dumb that SJWs are that stupid that they wouldn't at the very least make sure they did their research and at least know who they were insulting before they just carried out insult. At the very least, get their gender right, especially considering how much they cry about people misgendering them. It's like it's all about the pronouns, like he, him, she, her, them, they. Oh my God, we are so gay. Uh, Excuse me again. SJWs are fake activists. They don't support or do research on their weekly hot. Yeah, what do you me when it comes to research? Sure, a lot of people could probably take a lesson from me from the research side of it, right, guys? We're the Galaxy Rangers. Here we go. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. We're the Galaxy Rangers. Here we go. History on the subject. History on the subject. Yeah. So what, Anna? Are you trying to tell me that you're ready for me to do this day in each history already? You got the touch. You've got the power. Yeah. Through the eyes of the storm. Do. Or are you asking what happened to Anna? I meant you don't do research on the history. I meant they don't do research on the history of the subject. I see you laugh out loud. Yeah, they probably don't. They just get brainwashed and just, spew out the same old, stuff that they've been brainwashed with. They just regurgitate the brainwashing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Typical, they know what each other says on Twitter, and that's about it. Yeah. Let's see. What's that popular term that a lot of people like to use for that? Something about circling and about being a jerk. Was it circle jerk? I believe. Oh, just one big circle jerk. Like with Disney Star Wars, I believe Kathleen Kennedy said something along the lines of there was nothing else for them to go off of, or something like that. Yeah, I think I was hearing something about, like, I think if it was George Lucas who was actually the guy who produced Star Wars, I wonder if he was trying to do something with it now. Everyone, grab a partner to the right as George is waving his treatment and the finger at them. Hmm. Yeah, so one of the things, of course, guys might notice I'm like going off into songs here because last night before I went to bed, I decided to look up some scenes from the Transformers movie from back in like 1986. Um, let's see, there were a couple other. But if they do a new Star Wars, um, Mark Hamill became the new Luke. Well, actually, how could Mark Hamill become the new Luke when he was Luke in the first place? I believe Mark Hamill was. Didn't KK ruin every idea that Lucas had put out? Couldn't tell you that much because I don't know much about Kathleen Kennedy myself there. But yeah, I was looking up some scenes from Transformers the movie last night, remembering some classic stuff from that. Because he's a whiny shoy boy punk bleep lame now. True. Yeah, it's funny how Batgoat pointed out that I used a curse word earlier because I was just remembering how back in the Transformers movie back in '86. Now, granted, the movie was targeted for kids, but they were able to somehow slip by Spike using the word that rhymes with sit and hit, that if you were to mash sit and hit together, you know, in that, and you all know what that means, so um, Spike Witwicky, of course, voiced by Corey Burton, who would later go on to voice Brainiac in a number of the DCAU, including Superman, the animated series, Static Shock, and Justice League. He let them run away with his baby. The one you said earlier. I love Static Shock. Yeah, Static Shock was pretty cool. I watched Static Shock as well there. That was a pretty cool cartoon. And how they integrated him into the DCAU, and for I think he had a couple of appearances on Justice League, and just he had one on Justice League, and then one or two on Justice League Unlimited. So why won't DC do something with that instead of making fake diversity? Because it's not politically correct. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, this is brought up quite a bit. There's a whole, not that I'm trying to get too political here, but I don't know if those who reside in the States here, you guys have noticed this, but there's a bit of a what they call a Blexit movement from the Democrat Party, you know, where, you have a number of African Americans who are leaving the Democrat Party because they feel that they're not really for them anymore. So, yeah, let's see. Moderate Dems are now right because progressive policies. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but anyways, so is there any, like, I don't know, cartoon, comic, anime news you guys want to ask about or talk about? I didn't remember Static Shock being unpack or anything though. Oh, on PC. No, I mean I think Static Shock. I think Static Shock gave I think a pretty realistic of what life is like in the inner city. you know. Um, and I mean, it was diverse, but they weren't. It was relatively diverse and racially diverse, but they didn't try to shove it down your throat. I mean, look at the number of characters. You had Static, you had Richie, but the difference between the cartoon and the comic, from what I understand, in the cartoon, they just simply depicted Richie as Static's best friend. In the comic, they depicted him as being gay and maybe not being as close to Static as he was in the cartoon. You had Ebon, who was one of the main villains, Hot Streak, um, Talon. You know, it was diverse, but they weren't like trying to shove it down your throat. Go unpack your suitcase, young man. Go west, young man. Go west, young man. It was more close to how my friends acted than other shows. Ha ha ha, back goat. Didn't know all that. The rubber band guy was a good one. Yeah, rubber band man. The rapper turned super villain turned superhero. That was a good story. Good story in the cartoon. Anyways, hold on a sec. Yeah, the DCAU cartoons were actually very good in the 90s and 2000. They weren't trying to push agenda. It was good story. I mean, I know a lot of it was based on a lot of the post crisis, and at that time modern day comics of that period. Um, that was some pretty cool stuff, though. In that the storytelling was pretty good on those series in the 90s. Now, granted, they had to do some pastiches, for legal reasons or what have you, like the Justice Guild of America episode, Legends, um, in the Justice League cartoon. But and then they actually did end up bringing the actual Justice Society members back into the fold when they started producing JL, Justice League Unlimited. Yeah. Well, now we're back down to five. All right. So, yeah, we're at an hour and 24 minutes here. So, are you guys ready for this day in each history? I think I'm about ready to wrap this up. Some of you are going to probably want to get over to Nick's stream pretty soon here. Uh, are you guys ready for this day in each history? Let's see. Nietzsche up. I'm about ready for that. Yes. History. Nick's usually late and Shane. Okay. Uh, let's see. Nietzsche up. I'm about ready for that. Yes. History. Nick's usually late and Shane. All right. Well, today being Monday, November the 16th, 2020. Let's take a look back through time at this day in each history. I actually found some pretty good stuff here. You know, some stuff a little closer to us, but some stuff further back in time too. So without no further ado, let's get started on this. All right. So first off, as we head back 75 years ago on this date in 1945, the famous studios cartoon The Friendly Ghost um, is released on the novel tune series. This is notable, of course, because this is the first on-screen appearance of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Casper the Friendly Ghost, friendliest ghost you know. He laughs and sings, laughs all day. Oh wow! Let's see. Oh wow! Yep. Oh wow is right. 75 years ago today, the Friendly Ghost debuting Casper the Friendly Ghost um, was released in new. You know, at this time, of course, cartoons were created as theatrical shorts. We usually used to open things up, kind of the icebreaker before the main film. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna just read through part of this plot here real quick to give you guys an idea of what and this is basically the common theme throughout Casper's run. Casper is seen reading the book How to Win Friends, a real book by Dale Carnegie. Every night at midnight, his brothers and sisters scare people, except for Casper, who doesn't want to scare people. So he stays home instead. Casper decides that he would rather make friends with the living while his family is off scaring people. Casper bids his pet cat goodbye and leaves home. So that's I'm not going to read the whole thing obviously, but that's right there basically the gist of many of the Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoons, you know, comics and all that is that he's going out. He wants to be a friendly ghost. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to go out and scare people. 45. Yeah, 75 years ago, Fat Goat. 75 years ago. So there you go. That happened 75 years ago in 1945. Let's move ahead in time here now to the next piece of history. We move ahead 5 years ahead from the point we were just at on this date in 1950, which was 70 years ago today. From Me Comics, also known as Magazine Enterprises, the fifth issue of Bobby Benson's B-Bar-B Riders went on sale on this date in 1950, 70 years ago today. This, from what I've been able to tell here, this is a bi-monthly Western comic. I would imagine it was probably an anthology, as even up through 1950, anthologies were still, the run of the mill comic. So 70 years ago today, Bobby Benson's B Barbie Riders went on sale on this date. Let's see what classic formula that worked for children's entertainment. SJWs could learn from history, but yeah, you're right at that. You're right at that. Anonymity. You're right at that. If you're talking about the Casper cartoon, so um, so yeah. So on this date, of course, 70 years ago, Bobby Benson's B Barbie writers went on sale. The fifth issue of BBRB Writers. Now, as we move ahead in time, a little closer to modern time here. On this date in 1995, um, the the seventh episode of Saint Tale would air on Asahi Broadcasting channel. Um, a first rendezvous of tears. On this date in 1995, which is 25 years ago today, um, the seventh issue of Saint Tale would make its debut, or would premiere on this date in 1995. So, with that seventh issue of Saint Tale would premiere on ABC in Tokyo, Asahi Broadcasting Company. And with that, we have one more piece of history here to go through. On this date, 5 years ago today, let me see, from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina, would mark would would mark the go home Raw event leading up into 2015 Survivor Series, which you had one of the big stories on the night were the four quarterfinals in the WWE World Heavyweight Title tournament, as they were trying to conclude that after Seth Rollins was forced to relinquish the title. Of course, in the main event of the night, saw Alberto Del Rio beating Kalisto. Also on the card, Roman Reigns defeating Cesaro, Dean Ambrose defeating Dolph Ziggler, and Kevin Owens opening up the night with the win in the tournament. So those are, and then on some of the other matches on the card would include the Dudley Boys defeating the Ascension, the New Day defeating the Usos and Ryback, Tyler Breeze defeating R-Truth, and then in a dark match after the show, you'd have Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns taking on, defeating the Wyatt family. Your, of course, commentators for the night were Michael Cole, JBL, and Brian Saxton, with Lillian Garcia as the ring announcer, Renee Young doing the interviews. So that was all that went down on this date in Meech history. Um, I hope you guys liked all that. Um, excuse me a moment here. So with that, guys, as we are already past the hour and a half mark, hour and 34 here, I thank you guys for joining me tonight. As always, I always appreciate the likes and the always appreciate the likes and the shares. Hopefully, we can get some more people in here. Hope that we can really start getting more people in on Friday nights to learn more and more about comic history and stuff like that, and see how comic books and how publishing and all that developed over time. And as always, and a reminder to those wrestling fans in here. Yesterday, you guys may have noticed I did my latest episode of Squared Circle Calendar covering November 1975. If you haven't seen that yet, you guys might want to check that out. Of course, you guys know I have the VA profiles and the Squared Circle calendars. They're up if you guys want to check those out. If you want to check into that information, that's always appreciated. And let's see. Great stream. See you all tomorrow. Yep. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys again for coming in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.